All right, here we go. Thursday night live nightcap. Right here on BearcatJournal.com, www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Get the app. They will bring it right to your front door, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop, or go down to Dayton, Kentucky, tell them to pump it up, and they will save you 15% off of your order. Get all the good stuff. Some delicious tendies, some fried chicken, some fries, fried pickles, all that and more at Galactic Fried Chicken. All right, let's rock and roll. Normally that is Zach Edwards. That is not Zach Edwards tonight.
No.
The West thing last week kind of threw the schedule off, and Zach had already made a previous commitment, so he couldn't make it tonight. So instead, we bring in a man that I think is probably going to pick Iowa State by 20.
Whatever,
Keegan
dude.
Dickinson joins us. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
It's going good. You changed the angle on us.
Yeah, I have a different chair, and the light was going to be directly in the background, so I'm giving you a window instead of a window cover.
You
It
went
looks less like a Dexter kill room this way.
Yeah. There
you
go.
went to the window from the wall.
Yeah.
Y'all skeet.
Oh boy. Let's get this show rolling, boys. How's your Thursday night going?
It's good. I had to fix a spelling or a typo in my story, which was added to me by my boss.
I mean, you said that Iowa State only had 9 players when they played Oklahoma. So yeah,
I meant 9 seniors.
Yeah, well,
So
there's a difference. There's a difference between what you meant and what you said, sir.
Rookie.
But yeah, I mean, that's if you work at a real media outlet, you get an editor, and here you are your own editor.
Yeah. So I go through it. I look for typos and punctuation errors, but I don't really look for me just completely leaving important subjects of a sentence out. So,
yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
All right. Let's see. Get the tweet out. Wait for some people to populate in the room. Keegan, you have decided to go NFL tonight over this colossal West Virginia Houston tilt.
Yeah, I guess I'm not really doing my job, but I kind of forgot that game was on.
Oh, I didn't. West Virginia doing what I expected.
17-14 Mountaineers in front of, I don't know, 27, 28 of the biggest Houston Cougar fans on the planet.
Is it at Houston?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
There's nobody there.
That's really
nobody
dumb.
there.
They are almost 5 minutes into the third quarter, and Houston has amounted a whopping 117 yards of offense.
Yeah, they had one drive, and they returned
100-yard
they
kickoff.
returned a kickoff 100 yards.
Yeah.
Just don't kick to that guy, and like he has more yardage than the rest of their team.
Put it out of the end zone.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I will, Aaron. This will make you feel relieved. I checked with a source very close to the Kelce family. I was told it's highly unlikely that Travis will be home for homecoming, which honestly, you're dealing with a sprained ankle. You're going to get, because of the Thursday night game, a couple extra days of rest. You're probably not just like hopping on a plane and going to Cincinnati and bouncing around for a couple days. Like,
Not disappointing.
you're probably gonna stay home and take care of that ankle and make sure things get right, or you're gonna go to New York for the official New York City premiere of Taylor Swift's documentary or movie thing or whatever.
Whatever.
From my understanding, he will not be in Cincinnati this weekend. So,
am I allowed to ask a
accordingly.
question about who your source might be?
You can ask. I'm not going to tell you, but you can ask.
Don't you know how sources work?
This guy's supposed to be a fucking reporter.
What do they teach you at Indiana?
I was just going to ask if he also played tight end at the University of Cincinnati at some point.
No.
Okay.
No, he did not. He played. No, that'll give it away.
Then I
Yeah.
know who it is. I know who
No,
it
you
is then.
I guarantee you do not. I'll give you $25 if you know who it is.
I don't want to say it.
Not now. You can after the show. You can text me who you think it is, and I'll give you $25.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure you don't know who it is. Anyhow,
I think I got the two mixed up.
probably. Anyhow, let's see. No.
Oh, okay.
So now you owe me $25.
That was not the deal.
Just take it out of his pay.
I'm
Dad
gonna need whatever's left on that Montgomery Inn card back, sir.
That'll be about what? Yeah.
Yeah, $25. All right. Oh yeah, Aaron is not locked in on Thursday Night Football. He is locked in on
Work.
Houston and West Virginia. Yeah, we have to. These are things we have to talk about. We don't have to talk about the Chiefs dismantling the Broncos. Although I don't know what the score is. I haven't even
3-0. The Broncos have the ball.
3-0 Chiefs. Okay.
I hate the Chiefs. There's no shot in hell I'd be watching that game anyway.
Chiefs have the ball now.
Oh boy. All right, let's get to it. 3 keys as the Bearcats get ready to take on Iowa State noon on Saturday. Homecoming. I do think, Aaron, we can get into our garage before 10:30.
Ooh.
Apparently, the parade this year is on the other side. It's
As
on
it
like
should
the
be.
Jefferson side.
As it should. That makes the most sense anyway.
So if we come up from MLK off of 71 or 75, we can.
What they should actually do is probably put it right down the strip in front of all the restaurants where there aren't. I don't know. Whatever. There's parking garages on all of the streets, so it doesn't really much matter.
Yeah, I just think the backside of campus is going to be open, so I think we should be good to get into our garage.
There's enough places on campus. They should just do the parade through campus.
With cars, and I don't
Yeah,
think you know how parades work.
it's fine. It's all wide enough.
No, it's not. It's absolutely not. They're just going to drive the parade through the grid, like
Yeah,
wiping out.
they drive
Fences.
buses and police cars through there. It'd be fine.
There's like a 20-yard stretch where the buses are not on a road.
It'd be a short parade.
You're so festive.
I hate parades.
Is there anything you like?
I like the Bearcats.
Are you
I like
sure?
I like parking in my parking garage.
You like anything that doesn't inconvenience Aaron?
No, I don't like any of those things.
Oh boy. All right. Well, let's get to our 3 keys. Keegan is here, so you're the guest. I guess you the polite thing to do is allow you to go first, sir.
Okay. I don't think I need a refresher on how to do this. Can you see it now?
No.
Okay, there we
There
go.
we go.
All right. So my 3 keys. Let's see. Number 1, make them beat you through the air. So the last 2 games for Iowa State, Eli Sanders, their bell cow, has kind of hit his stride. He struggled with some injuries to start the season. That's why when you look at the stats in terms of carries, yardage, the top 3 guys are really close, but Sanders has really separated himself. So he's really gotten it going the past 2 games. He's been really reliable. So if you can put pressure on the redshirt freshman quarterback, make him beat you at Nippert Stadium in that big atmosphere with the homecoming crowd, I think that'll put the Bearcats in a pretty good spot. Number 2, get pressure on the QB. Iowa State has allowed 3 sacks this season, good enough for second in the country. If Dante Corleone, Juwan Briggs, Eric Phillips, Daniel Greshik, throw in Dorian Jones, and Jack Dingle can get Rocco Brecht, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not exactly sure. But if they can get him on his back foot, off his rhythm, I think that could lead to him making some mistakes in the air, which he's probably going to try to throw the ball a decent amount. But just put pressure on the redshirt freshman quarterback. So, yeah, that's the second one. Third one.
But let's discuss. We get to discuss some of these things. Get
Okay.
pressure on the quarterback. They're second in the country and not getting sacked. Like,
that's why it's important.
I mean, sometimes, most of the time, it's like, they're really good at something for a reason.
Yeah, Cincinnati's really good at getting pressure on the quarterback.
No, they're not.
Well, they have Dante Corleone and Juwan Briggs,
But
so
the
they should
games
be.
say they think they should be, but they haven't. In this 3-game losing streak since the Pitt game, that defensive line has not done a great job pressuring the quarterback. And Iowa State is second in the country in sacks allowed.
Okay. So you drop an 8?
That can be a key to victory, but it's also very unlikely to happen.
Okay.
Do you not agree?
I guess it's unlikely to happen, but I think that also makes it very important for basically your best position group to do what they're supposed to do.
Over under 2.5 sacks for Cincinnati. What do you got?
Under. I'll take 2, but I think that they could come in big situations and also alter the trajectory of the game if they can put him on his butt.
So 2 sacks is what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Moving on. Number 3. Make Shimon Mater your first read when you're in the red zone. I think this kid has shown that he is maybe one of the more gifted players on the offensive side of the ball, just in terms of his size, how he moves, and it seems like he's playing with a lot of confidence right now. They used Peyton Singletary in the red zone a lot when they weren't struggling in the red zone, i.e. against EKU and Pitt. So I think if Shimon Mater can slide in there and he can be that go up and get a ball, get loose in the end zone when a linebacker or somebody forgets about him, I think he can have a big difference. And I think he gives a physical difference and a physical advantage where if he's your first read and if he's not exactly wide open, you can still get him in a one-on-one situation and he should be able to come out victorious and get the Bearcats some points.
Shimon, I definitely agree with. Like, he has become
Thank
kind
God.
of that. I mean, I'm going to pressure you. I'm going to push you on points. Like, you are still in the apprentice phase, Keegan. Ask Aaron. It lasts for a while.
When does it end?
I don't know. Put up your 3 keys and let's find out.
Oh, man.
I do agree with Shimon, though. Like, make him a focal point of your red zone package.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, guess what? Then teams have to give a lot of attention to him. And it should free up, especially maybe some of those linebackers over the middle that are filling the run gaps. Like, they have to pause for a second to see what the tight end is doing. So I well done, Keegan, on that.
Also of note that I don't think a lot of people are making or pointing out, they lost a starting offensive lineman to the gambling scandal, and he should be coming back after a 6-game suspension. So it makes it even more important. It's going to be a tough offensive line, so you have to try to get pressure.
Or they'll be all out of sync because they haven't been playing together.
He can practice, though, can he? Or is he not allowed to practice?
I don't know the rules of the gambling suspensions.
Okay. I figured he'd be able to practice or he wouldn't be playing.
I mean, I'm sure you can come back at some point, but I just don't know what that point is. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I don't know how long he's been practicing, I guess would be a good way to put it.
All right. I went with short and sweet this week because that's how Iowa State plays.
Okay.
Number 1, protect the ball. You can't have an errant throw in when you're only at your own 25-yard line or whatever it was. You can't do that. That's not good. I don't know, Emory. I want Emory to be more selective about where he's passing the ball. And it's not that I think he's done a terrible job with that this season, but it showed up pretty badly against BYU. So this isn't a game where you can make a lot of mistakes against a defense like this. Number 2, turn the ball over. They've talked about it at length, ad nauseum, that they need to be where the ball is. Dorian Jones hammered on that. They've talked about the small details. I'm tired of the talk. I want to see it happen. You had a bye week. You had plenty of time to prepare for this shit. And I think we're all tired of defense being what you're hanging your hat on. Truthfully, I think the offense, despite the red zone struggles, I think the offense played better than the defense this year. But my last one, score. You have to score. You can't do this crazy stuff anymore where you're going for it on 4th and 2 and not scoring, where you're taking a field goal and putting 6 points up in a game. That's not going to do it. You have to score. I'm tired of it. You had 2 weeks to prepare for Iowa State. If you're going to be anybody to be reckoned with this year against anyone the rest of the schedule, you have to figure out how to put the ball into the end zone. Score the damn ball.
I think you should have just gone with score the damn ball.
Well, I got there anyway.
Or score touchdowns, because 3, it's time to stop taking 3. It's time to get 6.
That's why we get to talk about these points before moving on. Told you.
Hold on, I gotta.
The apprentice thing never ends, Keegan.
I'm just offering advice. That's all.
Constructive criticism, like we talked about before.
Constructive criticism.
Steve Smith. One of a kind.
I love that guy. Jeez. He's one of my favorites. Keegan doesn't like him so much. He thinks he's mean.
I just don't. Okay, whatever. We'll get to it.
By the way, Stephen, before Chad goes on the Houston Rockets New Orleans preseason tilt, Tari Eason has no minutes in the game. Apparently, he has checked in at some point, but he is being currently tallied with no minutes, and Lander Zanali has not checked in the game. Apparently, both teams have about 20 players on roster currently. So,
well, yeah, they're in preseason.
It's preseason, yeah.
Key one, jump out early. This is not an Iowa State team that's really built to play from behind, I don't think. It is important that you force their young quarterback into adverse situations by forcing him to play from behind. And I'm not talking 7-3, 14-3. Get out early and actually put some pressure on this Iowa State offense, because they are the inverse of Cincinnati. They do not move the ball 10 yards at a time. They do not pick up a lot of first downs. They rely on chunk plays. And the best way to kind of make them uncomfortable is to build an early lead. 2, can we make some small mistakes? It doesn't feel like Cincinnati has made any small mistakes in this 3-game losing streak. The mistakes they've made have been catastrophic. Pick six, fumble punt, like missing guys open in the end zone, like not making the right reads. Can we make some small mistakes that don't actually like completely alter the outcome of the game? It should be limit the big mistakes, but I thought this was more entertaining. Just like don't continue shooting yourself in the foot against teams that can beat you. Like the big mistakes are killing this team, and they need to get that figured out. That needs to be something over the bye week that clicks for this team, is not putting the opponent in the driver's seat, not putting the opponent in a situation to control the game because you've made massive mistakes. You've thrown pick sixes. You've thrown massive interceptions in your own territory. Things of
like
that nature.
Maybe a hold and not a defensive pass interference.
Right. Like, a hold you might have to punt. A defensive pass interference, they're marching down the
30
field.
yards down the field.
Scoring a touchdown. Find a way. Just find a way to win. Somehow, some way. This game is probably going to be ugly. You have two of the better defenses in the league. You have two teams that just don't make it easy for the opposing offense to find success. You're probably going to be in a Big East style basketball rock fight, football version. Hat tip to John Rothstein for being in town this week and pretending like he was at practice. I'll go with the Rothsteinism. But you have to find a way to win. You have to find a way to win the game. You all right, Keegan? You okay, bud?
Also, it's going to be raining, so that's going to make it even more ugly.
It doesn't look like it. The forecast is looking better and better as we go.
Okay, well, I'll play devil's advocate. It's going to rain.
There might be like a pop-up shower or two, but it doesn't look like it's going to be like a steady rain. So, just find a way to win. Find a way to put one more point on the board than the other team. You know why that's critical? Because you have to win 2 out of 3 in this stretch. Iowa State at home, Baylor at home, Oklahoma State on the road. You have to win 2 out of 3. If you lose on Saturday and you're in a position where now you're on a 4-game losing streak and you have to find a way to win the next 2, I don't feel super confident. So whatever it takes, if somebody has to come off the sidelines and tackle somebody for a 15-yard penalty instead of a touchdown, do it. I don't care at this point in time. You have to find a way to win the game. Period. Point blank.
Yeah, I'm afraid since it's a homecoming crowd, I'm afraid if they lose this one, the turnout at Nippert the rest of the season could be a little sparse. So
I'm not too worried about that. It's still going to be Big 12 games. At least you're not looking at playing, Temple and ECU in November for a team that's struggling. So, you might not be packed to the rafters, but I'm not totally concerned there. Win, just win. Get the taste out of your mouth of these last 3 games and set the stage for the second half of the season on a positive note. I do want to get to this. Just waiting for me to jump in on some Twitter beef with Cyclone Larry. No. Game recognized game. He's trying to drag you into the mud and make it ugly.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
He even tweeted about how I love doing this type of stuff just to set people off. Watch. And then he went on to do it. Y'all fell for it.
He said, I know how bad Iowa State has been in the history of Iowa State football. I know the lack of success. So finding you like baiting Cincinnati fans into pointing out that Iowa State has not been successful does not work with this man, whoever he might be. I'm just leaving Cyclone Larry alone. He can do his own thing. I game recognized game. Had tipped the Cyclone Larry. You have my respect, but I'm not getting into a Twitter beef unless I just think it's funny. And I don't know that that's one I could win. Like, you got to know your own scouting report. That man is a master. So I'll probably
Or
set that one out.
15. Or he's 15, letting AI run his entire.
Sure, whatever it is. Like, it doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do me any good to get into. No, I haven't changed, Stephen. I'm aware of situations. There are people that are fun to go at. If I go at Cyclone Larry, I am playing into what Cyclone Larry wants. There's nothing I can say that he isn't prepared for. Sir, Iowa State sucks at football. He's like, yeah, I know, but you're still Cincinnati. Like you can't win that. I'm good. So, no, I haven't changed. I just know how to do social media. And that is a fight. You know, I'm not interested in picking. ESPN stats are broken, Aaron. Their stats people are still in preseason mode. Tari with 3 points, 1 board, 3 steals. Hope Landers gets some trash time. Why would ESPN need to be accurate on anything? All right, so Keegan, you don't love Cincinnati's chances for this game. You think the things that Iowa State is good at present problems for the things that Cincinnati is bad at. Is that a fair representation?
It's basically the way you came at me for the get pressure on the quarterback. It's like I would say the same thing about Aaron's first 2 keys of protecting the ball and what was the second one?
If you don't even remember, is it really a point?
I just remember that Iowa State, it was protect the ball and then turn the ball, like turn over Iowa State. So Iowa State is good at turning over teams. Iowa State is very good at protecting the ball. So if you're not going to get pressure on the quarterback, which a lot of people don't think they're going to, if you're not going to turn them over, and if they're going to turn you over, that's 3 really big parts of the game where Cincinnati's supposed to be good at. And they haven't shown to be, and Iowa State has shown to be very good. So unless the bye week presented a case where Satterfield just lit a fire and these guys are going to come out and make game-changing plays and just turn into a winning football team that it's just in their DNA and they're going to find a way, as you said, Chad, I think the matchups kind of balance in Iowa State's favor. And if I'm looking at it, if I'm going to pick a team to win, I would probably pick Iowa State.
Boo this man. Boo. It's homecoming.
It's still fair. Like, it's fair.
No.
The things that
I'm
Cincinnati
not
has
here for
struggled with.
fair.
The things that's why, yeah. The things that Cincinnati has struggled with are the things that Iowa State is good at. And that has to give you pause. Has to give you cause for concern. The one thing I do think, like, Iowa State is really good against the pass. They don't seem to be – they're okay against the run.
TCU had a decent day. So
yeah, you need, but TCU only scored 14 points.
Yeah.
So you need to.
TCU has Sonny Dykes in their trash. Trash.
That's trying to give like a rational argument of why it might be an issue. Aaron just comes in like throwing spaghetti on top of the whole argument.
But he knows that
spaghetti.
He knows that we've talked about it on all of the Big 12 shows. Like, I don't believe in Sonny Dykes. I have not believed in Sonny Dykes all season. And no, I'm not here for it.
Did you believe in Sonny Dykes last year?
Yeah, that's just because he made the national championship.
We didn't do the show on Sonny Dykes last year, so that is in a moot point. Moot.
He made the national championship game, and it's maybe the worst quarterback that's ever played in the national championship.
You're out here with the hottest of takes right now, Keegan.
You want my hot take on Keegan?
Lest we forget Craig Krenzel.
Makes a good point. Tony Pike.
Keegan's
almost
not old
played the
enough to
national
remember.
championship game.
Hey,
Keegan's not old enough to remember Craig Krenzel.
thank you for talking over him, Aaron.
Keegan,
Yeah.
your selection for Big 12, the player of the year in the Big 12 will end 2023-24 as the most overrated player in college basketball.
It's not true, but you're entitled to your own opinion.
What has Hunter Dickinson done? What has he done?
We can go.
What has Michigan done in the years that they had Hunter Dickinson on their roster?
Is that a Hunter Dickinson issue or is that a Juwan Howard issue?
Is Hunter Dickinson on the team?
Yes.
Is he the best player on the team?
He's also playing with Kobe Buffkin, who's a ball hog, and Jet Howard, who played some of the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life last year.
I mean, you don't get to like judge coaches. You think Mike Woodson's good.
He's won 2 straight games in the NCAA tournament, so
they didn't lose their last game in the NCAA tournament?
No, they won in the first round, and then they won in a play-in game.
I don't think you know
You
how
said he's
straight
won
games
2
work.
straight
Right.
games in the NCAA tournament.
Whatever.
Then
You
he
know
lost.
what I mean.
Streak is over.
Whatever.
Streak ends at 2.
How did you even see what I
It
put?
was 1 both years. How did I see?
Yeah.
You think I don't?
I don't care. It wasn't on the article to like see everyone.
True or false? You picked Hunter Dickinson as your Big 12 player of the year.
And I would pick him again. And if I had to bet on it, I would bet on him.
How much you want to bet?
$1. We'll do a gentleman's bet.
$1.
So you get the field, I get Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's trash. I think he's a little above. He's not a great player.
I don't know.
Great player. Michigan would have looked a lot different.
I think in the Big Ten, it's a different brand of basketball.
Shitty.
So it's yeah. I'll probably co-sign that to you.
So now he's going to a better brand of basketball.
It's a cleaner, like sexier brand of basketball to where he won't have to back down Trace Jackson Davis every time he plays Indiana. And Trace Jackson Davis, I mean, Trace Jackson Davis outplayed him basically every game he played against him.
Right. Exactly.
Trace Jackson Davis is is a top 5 player in Indiana basketball history. So he was good. Like saying you can't say that he's bad.
You just called Trace Jackson Davis a top 5 player in Indiana basketball history.
He's second all time scoring.
Indiana basketball is not what people claim it to be.
It stinks.
If Trace Jackson Davis is one of the top 5 players in the history of what is supposed to be a blue blood program.
I don't think they're a blue blood, so I'll play devil's advocate and say that they're not blue blood. But I think
that's your word for the night, devil's advocate.
Yeah, and
this is devil's advocate tonight.
I'll do it. It makes things interesting. But I don't think Kansas has a ball dominant guard like they have in the past, like a Jalen Daniels. I think it's Jalen Daniels. I can't remember. I know that him and the quarterback have like similar names. Grady Dick. So I think he's set up for success, especially with Bill Self. They have a lot of momentum. Plus,
I think they have better players than Hunter Dickinson.
He's getting paid a bunch of money. So
I think they have better players than Hunter Dickinson. I don't think he's the best player on that team.
Okay.
That's just.
I also think media exposure plays a role in it and building a brand. So if he can play to the 4th best player in the conference, 4th or 5th, and then have the big brand that is Hunter Dickinson, he'll win Player of the Year.
I want to see how he does in those big, high pressure Big 12 games, because I think it'll be like 11-5.
Yeah, I put 2 players from Houston on the first team. I think that was my hottest take.
Did you go Crier and Dunn?
Crier and Sheed.
A Sheed.
Yep.
They're Shed, by the way.
Yeah,
Shed.
definitely.
That's because you're a sheethead.
He's gonna stop coming on these. We just pick on him relentlessly.
I think I had Scallions as my breakout. I might have had someone else.
Yeah, I've got your stuff. I just have to go back and look at it. I just wanted to pick on the Hunter Dickinson thing because I'm close to making it official on X and saying Hunter Dickinson will be the most overrated player in the country this year.
I also had an oopsie on that thing that was really embarrassing that Kevin Flaherty emailed me about. So
you have been oopsieing it up a lot lately.
Well, when I get a text from you
together.
and you're like, "Hey, did you get this thing?" and I get it 7 minutes after Tyler Betsy commits to UC. That I was like, "Oh, I got to throw this together." So I put someone in there that actually transferred to Ole Miss, Musa Cisse.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, never mind.
No, but Kevin emailed me. He was like, "Hey, do you have anyone else? Because he doesn't play in the Big 12 anymore." And I was like, "That's embarrassing. I'll take that."
I thought you were going to say Mike Adams Woods, but
no. Oh, come on. You should. You could fire me on the spot, and I would be like, "Okay, that's fine."
That was a Ole Miss. Like that was a deep cut.
Yeah,
for the OGs. There's like 30 people that'll get that one.
I don't get it. So
I know it's fine. It's fine. So you're going with Iowa State on Saturday, Keegan.
In my prediction tomorrow, I will be picking Iowa State, and I'll elaborate on it more.
Fire him on the spot.
I'm surprised Aaron didn't punt you.
Now he wishes he would have.
I'll let him keep burying himself. When they
boy.
win, it'll taste that much better.
I've picked them to win.
Or if they lose, he's going to come back on and dance all over you.
No, I won't.
We'll have our regulars back next week, so I don't know that there's a show that we can have room for Keegan next week.
You can have me on.
We're good.
Have me on.
We're good. I mean, ultimately, Aaron is the producer. So.
Oh, he didn't get an invite. Oh,
I sent it to him. I don't know why he's not here.
Weird. Must be in his trash. Along with his takes.
Ooh.
Oops, pile surprise. Oh. Anybody got any questions? Houston. Oh, touchdown, Aaron. Houston about to go up 28-24 in the fourth quarter. It would be interesting if Houston wins this.
It would totally ruin my whole Bearcats are the first new Big 12 team to beat an OG Big 12 team.
An OG Big 12 team. West Virginia just got there like 2 weeks ago.
It's fine.
I don't look at West Virginia the same as the others.
I just would not have had Dana Holgerson being the first new Big 12 team to win against a former Big 12 team.
Well, the problem
even
is
if it was
week 6, it's week 6 and it hasn't happened yet. Like somebody's going to get one eventually.
Chad, here's
Iowa State.
Here's an interesting question for you. And it could be a dumb question, but it just popped in my head. Would you rather?
This should be good.
Would you rather have the original Big East stick together, or be in the current Big 12?
Original Big East stick together. I think it's.
Okay.
I mean, Memphis, Louisville, Pitt, West Virginia, like the bubble
Syracuse.
but I'm just talking about like the regional aspect.
Yeah,
was awesome in the Big East. Like it was outstanding. You had rivalries that everybody could drive to, that people cared about, that decided conference championships in football and basketball. This Pitt, Jamie Dixon era, Pitt was really good in basketball as well, as were West Virginia and Louisville. And so somehow, some way, when all of this, like when the dust finally settles, I would love for just that, like a pod in some conference that is Louisville, Pitt, West Virginia, Cincinnati. Maybe you throw one
UCF.
other. Yeah, if you want, you throw UCF in there, or however it crumbles and ends up in whatever the final thing that we're going to see is. Like, that would be, to have those games every year was awesome. Like, you have no idea how cool it was every year to know, all right, West Virginia at home, Louisville on the road, Pitt at home. Like, okay, like you're going to have a bunch of great games that fans are going to genuinely like really care about, which when you lose regional rivalries, that's what it does.
I think that's part of why we've seen as much shit talking since we took Satterfield from Louisville, though, from the Louisville fans, despite the 6-0.
Just fucking weird.
But I think that's part of it, where just you took them from a rival. You took him from a rival. It doesn't matter if we were 5-0, we'd still get the shit talk. If they're 6-0 and they're still coming back to shit talk, none of it makes any sense. But I think part of it is the people who remember.
Yeah,
they chanted "Thank you, Cincy" as they were beating Notre Dame. Get a fucking life.
I mean, I feel like that's on the same level as the people at the Penguins game chanting "Fire Matt Canada."
That was awesome. That was so funny.
Just what are we doing?
Every sporting event in the city of Pittsburgh, they're going to chant "Fire Matt Canada." That's how bad that guy has been.
The black and yellow triggers it.
Yeah. Keegan, the people want to know your Indiana top 5.
Not the people. Just
this is me more of just trying to learn as much about Indiana because I didn't watch them until I really got there. With Trace Jackson Davis, the other top 5 would be Isaiah Thomas, Calvert Chaney, Steve Alford, and Victor Oladipo.
Again, if you're supposed to be a blue blood, that can't be your top 5.
Am I missing anyone? I think Keith Smart, maybe. I just know he hit that huge
Smart
shot.
was good. Like, he hit the shot, but I don't know that he was like
Woody, maybe. I don't think he was.
No. Mike Roberts probably in contention.
Oh yeah. Wait, why can't I remember his name? Ball State head coach. He was good there.
Lewis.
Top 5 all time. Yeah, Michael Lewis.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm scrolling through the list, and it's really Quinn Buckner,
Cody Zeller,
Scott May.
Scott May was good, yeah.
Isaiah Alford, Calvert Chaney, Damon Bailey.
Yeah, he was good.
Alan Henderson was great. Jared Jeffries wasn't there long, but he was good. Cody Zeller. But this list is also invalid because they have Yogi Ferrell on it. Yeah, that ultimately, when you look at that list, it's let's just say it's not as impressive as it should be.
Yeah, I think the lack of football has really shined a light on how good the basketball program is supposed to be, or appears to be.
Used to be. They've been a mid-level team in a league, a mid-level team in a league that hasn't won a national championship since Kenyon Martin broke his leg.
If they don't go to the Final Four Elite Eight in the next 3 years, I think you can you can start letting the takes fly with reckless abandon because they should get Liam McNeely on Friday. I think it's Friday. It might be Sunday.
Nobody
So
cares.
they've got a couple good recruiting classes coming. But
Honestly, I'd rather talk about Louisville.
okay. That's fine.
And you hate talking about.
Right, you're catching on.
I haven't looked at the comments on the YouTube channel lately. Maybe I should. Maybe our friend.
Quinn Buckner, Walt Bellamy. Yeah, Jason, you're proving my point here. Like, All right, we got anything else, boys? I'm gonna buckle in for this thrilling finish of West Virginia Houston.
Go Mountaineers.
Aaron, it is. Let's go Mountaineers.
It's not. I'm not
Let's
a
go
fan.
drink some beers. No, that's their actual. That's what they said. Let's go Mountaineers. Let's go drink some beers, which explains why Dave has an affinity for them. Only 2 Hall of Famers from Indiana. That's a great point, Jason. Only
In
2 guys
basketball-
in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Basketball will put anyone.
Thomas.
I've been to the
What's that?
Basketball Hall of Fame. They'll put anyone in the Hall of Fame.
Who are the 2 players?
I mean, Isaiah's got to be one.
Yeah.
And then
Is it Bob Knight? Are they counting Bob Knight?
Till he threw the
I mean,
chair.
he played at Army, right?
Yeah. I don't know if he's in as I didn't know if he counts as a coach to go in the Hall
Or
of Fame.
Ohio State. He played at Ohio State.
He coached at Army as a 26
Thomas and Bellamy.
If I'm honest, and this could get me like hurt, I didn't know who Walt Bellamy was. I've never heard of him. So
We're done.
That's also because you've only been an Indiana fan for 3 years. That's a nightcap. We'll see you next time. Brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatsJournal.com.
See ya.